Thanks for clicking on our podcast. This is John Fraser, and with my partner in wine down in the Cape, Michael Olivier, each week we taste the very best that the Cape has to offer in wines or spirits, whatever tickles our fancy, and hopefully it'll tickle yours as well. Well, we're back with Divine Intervention, and this time we've got a pink bubbly. Nothing wrong with pink bubblies. You can be as macho as you like and still glug them back. But before I introduce the bubbly, it's time to introduce our celebrity chef, food and wine guru, winner of all sorts of awards, sitting there down in the Cape, ready to talk us through this. We have Michael Olivier. Michael, good evening. Great to chat to you again.
John, hi. Nice to be with you again.
Great to be with you, Michael. And just so you know, because you can't actually see us at the moment, or maybe you can, because we're doing this thing through all sorts of amazing technology. With me in the Joburg studio, I have from Barclays Capital, I think you call yourself these days, or Barclays Africa.
Well, you can call it that, John. Barclays Africa Group Wealth and Investments. How does that? That's a real mouthful, isn't it?
Absence Chris Gilmore then.
Yes, that's even better.
And from Soho Sun, we have the Chief Sommelier, Miguel Chan. Chief Sommelier, of course, is a chap who advises you on wine, and we only bring him along because he pours it bloody.
I just pour the wine, John. Thank you for having me here. Fantastic.
Last and not least, certainly in terms of his stature is the word we'll use.
Gravitas.
One of South Africa's leading economists and one of my favourite economists, Mike Schissler. Mike, glad you could join us.
Thank you, John.
Okay, well, that's enough waffle about the guests. It's time to waffle about the wine. And what are we trying? It's a Method Cap Classique, which means it's a champagne that isn't made in Champagne. It's a Pinot Noir rosé from Perdeberg Winery. Michael, talk us through it.
Yeah, John, I'm actually quite excited about these MCC wines from Perdeberg. They did a white and this Pinot Noir rosé, and part of a whole new wave of wines that they've been releasing with the Dryland collection starting off in August last year. Pinot Noir is not a grape that is normally associated with Perdeberg, but very much associated with Champagne. And they're able to produce quite good quality Pinot Noir. Of course, it needs to be correctly handled in the vineyards, and Jaco Engelbrecht, who's the resident viticulturist there, is doing a brilliant job with their grape supplies. It's a lovely salmon pink color, tiny little bubbles rushing headlong to the top of the glass. And when you get your nose into it, you have all those sort of brilliant pink fruits. There's sort of watermelon, cherries, strawberries, and some pink spun sugar there. From a taste point of view, it's really crisp and fresh. Lovely sort of the fruits that you pick up on your nose, you pick up on the palate. And of course, as this wine ages and matures, the complexity will increase, and you'll probably get more of those sort of nutty, fresh baked almond biscuit aromas coming through. This is a wine that is great as an aperitif, but it would go really well with oysters, brilliant with sushi, and some delicate charcuterie as well. My first thoughts go to that lovely Iberico style ham which Lucas is making in Prince Albert.
Lucas in Prince Albert. That sounds slightly kinky to me, but what do I know? Michael, for me, what I do like about this is it's lovely and crisp and dry. As you said, it's crisp.
Yeah.
It's also not sweet. I'm afraid I recoil from bubblies that I find too sweet. My personal taste. I know that you do get them. This is classically made, very elegant, and it certainly shows yet again that the Cape can compete very favourably with some of the more pretentious producers of bubbly around the world. And who can be more pretentious than the French? Miguel, I know you convene an annual tasting of sparkling wines.
Yeah.
Is this one you knew?
I didn't know about it, I have to be honest. I taste a fair amount of wines on a monthly basis, but this is the first time I'm discovering the Perdeberg Pinot Noir Rosé, and it is a fantastic offering. There is lovely nuance, there is a great character of Pinot Noir in it. It is food friendly. Both you and Michael have said the different options of pairing this wine. I would even go further and suggest that this will be the perfect fare with salmon or salmon trout for that matter.
Yeah.
And it is absolutely elegant, and it will also complement berries, desserts very, very well. So, guys, seek it out. It's a fantastic drop.
Chris Gilmore, do you think this would go well with the old trout?
The old trout, there we go. Nice one, John. No, I think it's very ubiquitous. It will go just about anything, I think. And it's interesting to note your earlier comments. You and I know full well about 2 weeks ago we got a bottle of cheap bubbly from a crowd that shall remain nameless, and it was sweet and horrible and cloying and disgusting. This, on the other hand, is just really very nice and, as you say, dry and crisp, and I think would great accompany to just about anything. Lovely, beautiful.
Well, that's no way to talk about the Pick and Pay goodie bag, Chris. I haven't tried mine yet, but guess what's first on my Christmas present list to give rather than to receive. Mike Schussler, does this go down well with you?
Absolutely surprising for me. I wouldn't be seen dead with a pink champagne, but it is lovely. I'm not sure if I'll buy it because of the color rather than anything else. That's probably just me, but I really am surprised. I really like it. It is dry. It has certainly got a little bit of afterlinger, I think, and it's got something. It is difficult to describe, but crisp and dry, as everybody's been explaining and saying. Bubbly, yes. Pink, I'm not so sure about.
Well, Michael Olivier, now we know what dinosaurs don't drink.
Yes.
Pink bubbly. This is rubbish, isn't it? I mean, if I wasn't so fond of Schussler, we'd be kicking him out about now because of his homophobic comments. I hope you as a married man with lots of kids can give us a firm assurance that there's nothing effeminate about pink wine.
No, for sure, absolutely. I mean, Blanc de Noir, Rosé. Yeah, just it's to each his own, but yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this is Mike, this is made from a black grape, by the way.
I would probably agree. I just think if you're going to give me something of this color, make it full on red. I am a bit homophobic, although I do like John. But I need to point out that this is it is really a very nice wine. I have no doubt. But really, when I think of wine or champagne, I think of a clear champagne. I think of and so on. So it's probably unusual, I think, for South Africa. I don't know. You guys know much more than me. But in my mind, I think of the champagne as a clear thing, not as a pink thing. That just might be me.
Clear rather than queer. Okay, we've got the Schussler judgment on sparkling wine. Miguel, going back to your interest and passion for South African bubblies, how well are we doing? Because certainly to my mind, there are a lot of producers out there, whereas maybe 5-10 years ago, there was a rather limited batch of South African
Certainly,
bubblies.
the amount of producers have increased more than 3 times. Today, we're looking probably at around just over 190 producers of MCCs out there. 10 years ago, probably we were looking at about 60 or even less producers. And it's a category that is dynamic. It is selling. It's one of the few categories that are turning money. So that's why I guess many producers are producing MCC, and the quality is very high. Value is fantastic compared to other sparkling wine around the world. And let's drink more of it.
Well, I'm doing my best, Miguel. And just going back to what Michael was suggesting, if I recall correctly, he was suggesting sushi might be one of the pairings.
Yeah.
Oysters as well. We heard the salmon trout suggestion. Not many people, apart from when they're dining on a special occasion, for instance, Mother's Day or a birthday or something, would actually order a bottle of sparkling wine with a meal. But there's no reason why you shouldn't.
There's no reason, because MCCs or champagne or any quality sparkling wine for that matter, they are one of the most food-friendly wines out there, simply based on their freshness. They are light in alcohol, they are elegant, they're refreshing, and they complement a meal from start to finish. And true, in South African tradition, we don't really see a lot of customers ordering a bottle of bubbly with their meal. They always have it pre-dinner, and it's a work in progress, and I'm confident that we should see a different picture in a couple of years' time.
Chris, for you, I mean, either dining out or indeed even dining at home.
No,
nothing wrong with popping a cork rather than pulling it.
Absolutely, and I think you really have to go to Europe to appreciate just how frequently people drink champagne. But Miguel, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but rosé champagne tend, in my experience, to have a bit of a premium in terms of price.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Rosé champagne, Rosé Cap Classic usually come on about 25% higher than the white counterpart. It's purely marketing. And it sells. Rosé sells.
Yeah.
And so they can charge the higher price for it.
John, give us an indication as to the kind of price range we're talking about here. Roughly.
Yes.
I think Michael is probably better placed than me on that one because he sourced the wine for us. Michael, any idea how much this would cost you?
I actually haven't got a clue. I'm sorry. I should have.
Well, we'll have to source after this. We'll have to source more. But I don't want to ask a question. Will this go with Springbok Carpaccio?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So then you can have it for a starter and mains with trout or salmon, and then with your berries afterwards.
Your berry trifle.
Yeah.
Oh, there we are.
And Michael, just in terms of the local market, to what extent do you think these bubblies are going to be falling off the shelf as we come up to Mother's Day, Mothering Sunday? That of course is a very good occasion to show your beloved mother how much you appreciate her, or indeed for those of us who have lost our parents to just remember and commemorate. I think that it's wrong to suggest that weddings are the only occasion to drink sparkling wine. I think sometimes if you're celebrating someone's life, it can be appropriate at a funeral as well. Or maybe I'm being a bit morbid. Michael, what do you think?
Look, my big mission is to move people away from the sort of thinking that this style of wine is for special occasions only, like Valentine's, Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, etc., etc. On a Sunday morning at about 11 o'clock, I look out my window here, it's the most perfect day. And my goodness, wouldn't a bottle of this Perdeberg go down well now?
It's perfect with bacon, Michael.
Yeah.
Tell all your Muslim friends, or don't. Well, just to wrap up as we pour seconds of this sparkling wine, Mike Schussler, of course, is abstaining because it's a bit pink. No, he isn't.
No.
We have converted him to the dark side.
No, you've converted me to the pink side.
And Miguel, thank you very much. You do that very well. No wonder.
What is the alcohol content in this, Michael?
12.5, ideal, perfect to drink from morning to bedside.
Excellent. Well, as we are boosting our own alcohol content, many thanks for this tasting to our anarchic bunch of Joburg guests, who I'm delighted, or rather apprehensive to say, will be back again next week. To Chris Gilmore from Barclays / ABSA, to Miguel Chan from what was Southern Sun,
Correct.
now Soho Sun. To Mike Schussler, who remains an economist, albeit one with rather dinosauric views on certain subjects.
Yes.
And of course, down to the Cape, to our food and wine guru, Michael Olivier. Many thanks once again for your presence on this tasting. Great to chat to you again.
Thank you, John. Such a pleasure.
I'm John Fraser. This has been Divine Intervention.